everybody here at this table, we have all had an opportunity to go see, and again, thanks to Allied Marketing for giving us advanced screening, press screening to see Birds of Prey, which we actually saw a couple weeks ago, and we have a variety of opinions on this movie.
Because the movie leaves you with opinions.
Let me ask you guys a question. So, before you saw this movie, what were your expectations?
It was going to be trash.
I thought it was just going to be another Suicide Squad, and I was just like, I don't really care anymore. And also figuring that it only centers around Harley Quinn and mostly unknowns, I'm like, why am I going to invest in it if I barely invested in her in the first movie?
Even in the sense of just Harley Quinn, this is like one of the greatest villains of all time, sidekick.
Bro, I thought going into it, I thought it was going to be good. I did.
Okay.
I mean, trailers are always trailers. They always show the best parts of the movie and all that kind of stuff.
That's true.
But the trailer looked good. It seemed like they had a good story. I mean, when they first announced it in that long name, Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, you're like, what's all that in the title for? Then they've changed the name now to Harley Quinn's Birds of Prey.
Which we've come to find out.
We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
So it's just, I was like, all right. And then they started announcing the characters they were going to have on it, and I was hype about Black Mask being in this movie.
That's what turned the stone for me.
So I'm like, all right, this might be dope. They're putting Black Mask in this. They're going to have to do this right. Ewan McGregor's playing them. I'm feeling this.
Right.
So I went into this thinking that this movie was going to be pretty good.
Personally, I had no clue. The reason I had no clue is because DC's been so hit or miss. You had something like Shazam, which actually I went into Shazam with very because I felt like in the previews I saw a lot. I'm like, I'm not overhyped, but after seeing the movie,
I had to listen to Jerv. Jerv said it was going to be fire.
Okay, and Jerv, give him that. So I don't know.
I had to give
somebody
Jerv
owes him like a bottle of rum or something like that. So with this one, I'm like, okay, Joker. Even though the Joker movie, which won all those awards at the Academy Awards, everyone was like, this movie was great. People are not necessarily connecting it to the DC universe. So you got to look at Birds of Prey. It's like, all right, they just hit a win with the Joker. Shazam was a win. Aquaman, you can argue, was kind of a win. It was a win. So with this one, you're like, okay, let's just hope. So my expectations were, all right, maybe they've learned from their past mistakes.
But this is the thing. This movie had slight connectivity. The last movie that you seen Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn was in Suicide Squad. And then you had that ending scene where the Joker breaks her out of the prison. And then all of a sudden this movie comes along and it's like, oh yeah, we broke up.
Yeah, big gap.
Big old gap.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the good first, because I feel like there's going to be. So, Ed, do you thought it was a good movie?
I thought it was a pretty decent movie. I'm not in the trash or excellent category. I'm kind of like right in the middle, maybe a little bit above it. I had a lot of fun with Harley's character itself. I thought like she kind of had that snark throughout the entire movie, like what some people have been comparing on the Marvel side to a Deadpool, if you will. Just the way that she was able to kind of like bring levity to most of the story, telling things out of order, telling things in her own different perspective to each of the characters. So I thought that was kind of fun. The Huntress was really cool character, kind of like that.
She was the coolest character in this whole movie.
That mysterious kind of character, and also had that awesome fight scene at the end. Black Canary was okay in terms of like how they portrayed her in this specific movie as kind of like a lounge singer.
Just his sister.
Yeah.
Mr. Smollett.
Who's back in trouble with Chicago police?
I was attacked by white people, and they said MAGA, MAGA, MAGA.
And they threw a rope around my neck. Like, yo, you lying your motherfucking ass off, bro.
Light-skinned brothers.
Hey!
Light-skinned brothers.
One mandatory light-skinned joke per episode. That's it. That's it.
It's a running theme. But I will say this. The two characters that I didn't like in the crew were, of course, the stereotype cop that Renee Montoya was.
Horrible, unnecessary character.
Yes.
Absolutely unnecessary.
Yes.
And the thing is, you guys have read the comics. I'm not too familiar with her character in the comics, but if that character in the comics was anything like what we saw in the movie, I'm not interested. Why didn't they replace her with Catwoman? Why Selena Kyle?
Because they didn't. That was the right character to have. They just did that character no justice. That's what it was. Renee Montoya is a great character. Number one, she's cool with Gotham PD. You know what I mean? She doesn't have a problem with the police department, but they made this movie was so weird because the men, and it was every dude in the police department treated her like shit.
Yeah, it was awful.
Like,
even the DA's
wasn't just in the police department.
Right, wasn't just police department. But the police department, she's cool with Gotham PD. So it didn't make sense that now they all hate her. They're all doing her dirty. They're all trying to shaft her every chance they get.
They made Gotham PD more corrupt than they did in Gotham.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
And then it's like, well, where's Commissioner Gordon? Because he definitely wouldn't allow that shit to happen.
Yeah.
Like, the commissioner should have been in this movie and shut that shit down.
Yeah.
Her character is a great character. They did her dirty. Black Canary. I thought she was good in this movie. I thought her character was good, but it was just, this should have been tied. You put the leather jacket on her. She don't have to have the fishnets, but at least give her the leather jacket, if anything. Like, the costume was all off.
Give us a little bit of a hint to the origins.
Right.
So
it's just
visually.
If you're not going to keep her as a blonde hair white woman,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
You're going to switch the character
Then give
up
her the
by
outfit.
race, but give her something of the outfit so we can connect to
Something
it.
besides
Right,
the
right.
the
And
su-
by the
something
way,
besides the superpower and the tattoo. That's it.
Right,
That's
so-
literally the only two things that
and
led
then
to it.
The canary cry, I mean, which we can talk about more later, but she uses it one time in the whole movie. She's the
Yeah.
only person with superpowers in this whole movie.
Right.
And she faints after she uses it. And then you have to, but you know why you have to do that? Because
That girl
she's-
can blow.
Because she's too OP. She could clear house doing that all day. It ain't no
Exactly.
fight. So you make her faint, and it's like, oh, she uses her power. She's
Yeah.
going to pass out. That's why she can't use it all.
She's like Baby Yoda in The Mandalorian.
yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So
So
it
the only
was
thing they
just-
gave her in the beginning of the movie was kind of like the Mariah Carey, I'm going to break a glass or something like
right,
that. That
and
high pitch.
Again, it was just disrespectful to the
basically what it
character.
realize that.
It is. It's basically, she turned from Mariah Carey to Black Canary. That's her
Wow.
trajectory.
Mariah Canary.
Cassandra Cain, another good character
I
in the
wanted-
comics.
Yep.
She is bad.
Wait. First of all, I didn't even know. I mean, I knew the name Cassandra Cain, but I never connected that to
I was
you
the
didn't.
same
You didn't
way.
realize
I
that?
didn't realize that, and
Yeah.
now I'm insulted. Now
Yeah.
I was
Listen.
gonna come into tonight being like, you know what? I really wasn't crazy about the movie, but it wasn't horrible. But now that you told me that, I'm borderline now. I was
no.
like,
This
it was
is
bad.
Lady Shiva's daughter.
Yeah, man.
And she was just a throwaway character.
Right. And,
I will say that,
and
yeah.
again,
That was
the
stupid.
worst pickpocket ever. She's running around people pickpocketing them like this,
She's like, hey, look, like,
hitting
wait.
them and pulling out the
No, she's like, isn't that your mom? Wait, thank you.
Yeah.
like the worst pickpocket ever. And it's again just a great character that they ruined. Huntress was cool.
Yeah.
They
She
put
was the
that.
best part.
They put that Jersey Mafia spin or New
Well,
York Mafia, whatever mafia. But they put the mafia spin on her. They gave her the tracksuit. Like,
Well,
But she looked the part.
The
Right.
reason why she was, I think, the best character, arguably even better than Harley, is because she had a reason for being who she was. They showed her backstory, though short. You saw that this girl just had her family blown away in front of her.
Yeah.
It made her who she was, and she's just going out seeking retribution.
Yep.
And then you saw her insecurities and stuff. And by the way, you know that's the girl from
Scott Pilgrim. Yeah. I said
Flowers.
the
Yeah.
same thing. I was like, that's Ramona Flowers. I was
That's
like,
Ramona
oh my
Flowers.
God.
And I just thought that she added such a real everyday girl vibe to it. Like, yo, she did what she had to do. I like
And
that
she
character.
wanted to peace out, and they're like, nope, you got to stay now.
Yep, and she was almost kind of like the emo, like, all right, whatever, what y'all want me
Yeah.
to do, you know?
but even piggybacking off what James said earlier, like this movie happens after Suicide Squad.
Yes.
All right, cool. So Joker broke you out. You're chilling in Gotham, but you in plain sight. You hanging out at the bar every night. You drinking.
And it's not like you
Why?
look.
Why isn't Amanda Waller coming to pick you up?
They tried so hard in the writing to leave any Joker besides what
They
was
wanted to leave it
necessary out. So, like, first of all, Black Mask looked like he was running the city.
Yeah,
but
he
anyone
is.
that knows the comics knows that he is well, way under the Joker as far as his cronies and stuff. So, if you would have saw some people in the clown mask going around, he's like, oh, like I ain't fucking with y'all. Y'all up here, we down here. But it almost seemed like he was running the shit.
It
you
seemed
know?
like
But that's the difference. Though.
he was number 2.
as a mobster in Gotham, he is at the top of the food chain.
Right.
He's number one. Penguin, those guys are under him, like
But
at level of
they-
how big of a mobster.
That's
Joker's
fine.
a different
Because of
type
the team that he
Joker's a
has.
different type of villain.
That's
Joker
fine.
ain't worried about that type
But they
of stuff.
still should have showed the Joker's presence in the city, in that world, which I didn't see in that movie. You
Right.
know,
Mhm.
it was just by mention, like, oh, that's the Joker's ex, but you didn't see his fear. Like, Joker's people are always lurking.
Oh, yeah.
They just could have did it so much better, I think, all in all, you know. And another big problem I had with this movie was Harley Quinn. If they really wanted us to love that character more than just, oh, me and Mr. J broke up, what they should have done is shown how Harleen Quinzel turned from psychiatrist, giving us flashes of who she
Like
was.
kind of like a live action
Right.
version of the Mad Love cartoon.
Yes, giving us versions of who she was in her transition into almost like she's like a girl that just got burned so many times she just lost it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just like I felt like if they would have showed us even a little more of that transition into the current Harley, I would care more about future movies. Because at this point, Birds of Prey 2, Go right
Whoa.
to VHS.
But let me ask you this though: don't you know that already? Like, did you have to see why Harley wanted to leave him? Like, it's common knowledge that Joker is the most abusive boyfriend ever to this woman.
But see,
we know why this woman wants to leave
You're looking at this
her.
from a person who has read the comics. Understand, when they put these movies out, their hope isn't just that comic fans come out. Their hope is that everybody comes out.
Right.
So that's the case. If you want to have that Mandalorian success where people who've never been into Star Wars are now watching it like, yo, I'm going to go back now and stuff like that, you need to give us more of the background story. And so many women could have related to being in an abusive, controlling relationship, transforming into an intimate. That if they would have added that, I think they would have got more. Do you disagree
That
with me?
whole falling in love with the bad boy type deal and all
and
that
then
shit.
paying the price.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Did you have to
That's
see
what they
that
didn't.
for Spider-Man coming into the Marvel Universe? They didn't show anything of Uncle Ben dying and how
Right,
he
they
became
didn't
who he
need
is.
any of that.
You know, because everybody knows his story. I think everybody knows Harley's story. Even
But that's my point. Everybody doesn't. I mean, some do, but if they would have just even the slightest bit added that to it, I think now you have a movie where women who they were like, oh, I like that character because I was with a dude just like that before.
I think the problem with that though is you had that kind of movie with Suicide Squad. It existed already. So in essence, they've kind of already told that story. So they didn't need to go back to it in Suicide Squad or then Birds of Prey, which is why they had the cartoon in the beginning of the movie to, figure out
was
why
Suicide Squad
had her
good enough,
independence.
successful enough to assume everyone had seen that? So in other
I
words,
think
Not necessarily.
Not
Right.
necessarily, but I think those who kind of understand the fandom, I think what's trickier about this movie is that it wasn't necessarily a casual movie.
her popularity is so big, I think people know her story. Like, Harley Quinn is huge.
Yeah, but
she
I think
blew
her
up more than any other character.
Yeah, but her popularity is big because she can be cosplayed well.
No,
Let's be real.
Listen,
I agree.
no, but listen, that's fine. I'm not talking about
Nowadays.
I'm not talking about the reason for her
light-skinned boy made a
popularity.
point.
I'm just saying this. Her popularity is so big, even if it blew her from cosplay, but because of her popularity being so big from cosplay,
Yeah.
people know her story. They know she's been in an abusive relationship. They already know this stuff about her.
Right.
That's why I think you didn't have to force feed it again.
They honestly thought that it was going to be like a feminist movie because every male that was in the movie was a bad guy. Victor Zaza, Black Mask, the entire Gotham PD, and then
pretty much
out of nowhere, every woman in here is kind of like, it's not necessarily feminism, but it's like codependency. Harley brings up that fact that a Harley Quinn is there to serve.
Right.
Yeah.
And she can't be nothing without Mr. J. These are like real strong female figures. Like when you look at the Disney princesses for an example, where Ariel will give up her whole family and her friends in order to lose her voice in order to get some dick. As opposed to a woman like Mulan who scaves herself into a boy and becomes some warrior princess.
Which wasn't the original story in the first place, which is not what they're going to
They
tell
switched
in the
that up.
live action.
But the thing is, like, these girls are like real strong figures and everything, and that was like real cool about this.
Wouldn't it have made more sense to come out with a movie called The Huntress, where you give us one whole movie on this character, The Huntress, then next year come out with a movie called The Black Canary, and again, this is the Marvel formula, and then eventually, now that you know these characters, then
I think,
Or utilize your streaming service and do the shit on
Yes,
HBO Max.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then eventually, now when this Birds of Prey come out, you're like, they're finally going to get together. To me, you're setting yourself up for success because even if the movie isn't that good, people have been waiting for this merger to happen, which is what Marvel did.
But the question you have to ask is, do you want to see a Huntress movie?
no, that's
No, that's what I said,
yeah,
HBO Max.
Yeah.
Before this movie came out and you liked this character, do you want to see a Huntress movie?
Right,
Probably
no.
not. Do you want to see a Black Canary movie? Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you want to see a Renee Montoya movie?
Nope.
No.
No.
No, that's the
Good,
and I
so
think-
leave her out.
Well, that's
No, but here's the thing.
Hold on,
She's
hold
the
on.
question, though. So you've destroyed this character that turns into the question, who's a badass freaking
Yeah,
vigilante.
it's probably one of
So
the
why,
top
then why,
characters in
just like in
DC.
the Netflix here, why don't you make her like the nurse, like Rosario Dawson's character? If you did
Night
all
nurse?
these, well, no, if you did,
Oh,
it-
the person that
if you
connects
did
everybody?
these, right? If you did these movies like where you did a Huntress, first of all, Jessica Jones, no one really knew who she was, and after her series, she's so and Guardian. So I believe you can turn characters that aren't big into things if you give us a good movie.
right.
So if you would have put Renee's character in as a thread and stuff like that, that's how you could have made it work. Ultimately, again, where in the Marvel MCU you had Jon Favreau, you have Kevin Feige, you have people like, all right, let's start here. They actually have a board up where they're like, this, like, I mean, I don't know, not to get off the
Kenneth
topic.
Branagh did the first Thor.
Right, but like, so like with the X-Men, not to totally get off, but to connect it to this, you know, our man Michael Roman said that he got a leak that they're going to be introducing Rogue in Captain Marvel 2 as the villain. So that's a way
Which would be comic accurate.
Yeah, but that's a comic book accurate
but
thing.
still, now you're adding pieces of the X-Men. You're not just gonna go, oh, like 2023 X-Men the movie. It's like
All 20 of them.
Yeah, all of them. And they look at the camera like da-da-da-da, like they're like cheesy. No, we don't want that.
Right.
Lead up to this, you know what I mean? Because the Suicide Squad, you did the same thing. You did it with Suicide Squad. You did it with Justice League.
You threw everybody in our
and
face.
you're doing it again. You're trying to catch up to the stuff Marvel did as opposed to taking your time.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And they killed Black Mask at the end.
Yeah.
Black Mask, like, his character was good.
He was another one of the good ones in the movie.
He killed Ewan McGregor killed the role.
Oh,
he was great as a character.
Charismatic and insane at the same time.
You just kill him off, and it's like, and he's not wearing his mask when you kill him on top of that. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah, he really didn't have the mask on enough in the movie.
No,
and he brought like almost, instead of like Joker's evil sadistic, he was almost a diva club owner. Like working in nightlife like we did. He's that guy that just has all the power. He's the shit. Does a little cocaine, like, all right, man, this motherfucker, I want him. So like, and he pulled that off perfectly. You know what I mean?
And he was a scary character.
Yeah.
Without doing anything crazy to be scary, just like, this dude's fucking crazy.
Not doing like, not shaving off people's faces.
But he didn't do it. He's telling people to do that. Like I said,
especially
he's not holding the knife,
right?
He's commanding the knife.
But that's what's so great about his character. He never got his hands dirty.
No.
But he's a scary character that everybody. Black Canary was scared as shit. Baby, turn around and blow this motherfucker's head off with a cry. What you scared of this motherfucker for? She's scared, terrified of this dude.
I mean, so ultimately, you know, what were your final thoughts on the movie? Do you think it's worth seeing this movie twice? Are you going to watch it again?
I'm not going to watch it again. I mean, I put it in the middle. Generally, if I put a movie in the middle, probably not going to watch it again. Unless I turn on the TV, it happens to be on TV, and I ain't got shit else to do.
I didn't even get any screen time. Nope.
Not. He got to eat a Twizzler, and that was it.
And did you notice that a lot of the scenes that they had in the previews weren't in the movie?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of stuff that you saw before this movie came out.
Another 52 fake out, bro.
But I don't think it's not even a 52 fake out. It was just that they recut the movie. They shot so much other footage that they had to piece this together. I mean, I'm watching this. I feel like there's so much more you could have done, and it's just missing from this movie. And I shouldn't feel that way watching this movie. Is it entertaining? Yes.
Yes.
Well, I saw it twice already. I mean, would I watch it if it's on TV?
I'd watch it.
I saw it
because I wanted to make
twice.
sure. Because the first time we watched it, we got done. Darnell leans over, everybody's like, "Yo, what y'all think of the movie?" I'm like, "That shit was trash, bro." But I was like, "Let me go watch it again to see if I'm just off." And I watched it the second time. I'm like,
That's what I'm saying.
"No,
Like,
it's trash, but it's entertaining trash."
Partynerdz.